Hello and welcome. I am Jamie Kaufman here with TheCameraAffect Promotions, and I'm here with actually a fellow previous member, I call her an alumni if you will, of TheCameraAffect Promotions. We have Samantha Bass here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, living.
Chillin' killing.
Oh yeah! Chillin' killing.
So I'm going to take it a little back. Samantha and I actually met back in 2016 at I The Mighty show back at Chain.
No, that's not that far.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's so wild to me. Because I'm gonna be longer, but also shorter.
Yeah. Because time flies when you're having fun, you know?
Time flies.
So how long have you been shooting photography?
Probably since right before that. Maybe a couple months before.
Wow.
I met you there. Yeah, no.
So we've been shooting for about the same amount of time then.
Yeah.
Because I started back in 2016, around June.
I did a lot of portrait photography in high school, did a lot of that first, so I was very familiar with the camera. And just a couple people had been asking, come shoot my set. And so I was like, okay, and that's kind of what started me. It spiraled.
So when did you get together with the TheCameraAffect Promotions?
Oh my god, I don't even remember. I think May 2016?
Wow.
I think. Time's a blur for me.
And how was your time with the company?
Oh, absolutely phenomenal. Christine, head editor, super sweet woman. It was weird talking to people and being like, oh, I'm with TheCameraAffect, and then being like, oh, I know what that is. That was so weird for me, but super cool too.
Oh, definitely. So we're gonna go a little creative now. So back when Brian started used to do interviews, when interviewing was actually a thing.
May he rest in peace.
Now he's, fried chicken. Chicken nugget.
Evil fried chicken nugget.
Well, okay. The reason I say that is because he tries straightening his hair. Honey. I'm gonna quote Tracy Patel. Oh, honey.
Fried chicken nugget. Me too.
So, he used to always start off his interviews by asking, if you were a porn star, what would your porn star name be? And that was just, a lot of people ask that question just on the daily, and you would just answer it by saying your middle name and the street name. So that's what a lot of the bands did. We can alter that question a little bit. So I'm gonna ask you, if you were a drag queen, what would your drag name be?
That's hard. I'd probably be Vanilla Spice.
Ooh, and what kind of drag queen would you be? Because there's campy, there's comedy, there's...
Absolutely comedy. Absolutely. No, it'd be too fun. It'd be so fun. But, I just can't do, cakey, heavy makeup for crap, so no.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be like Trixie Patel.
No, absolutely.
Trixie Patel is queen.
Queen, no, absolutely.
Queen.
Absolutely.
So, last year we had a lot of bands come under really harsh scrutiny for a lot of rumors that came out, and I just wanted to see what your opinion was on all that.
I think there's a lot of good coming out now, especially after that, because a lot more women are stepping up and being sort of, not mean, but they're standing up and they're being fuck you, no, I'm gonna stand up for myself, I'm gonna call your ass out for being shitty, and we're seeing a lot more of that now.
Yeah.
And whether it's warranted or not is totally up to whoever is reading and whoever is seeing it. But I think a lot of bands are really learning to straighten up their act. I mean, a lot of the scene back in the day, even 2016, 2015, 2014, I've been going to work for since 2011, the scene was completely different. You could totally get away with a lot of that crap. And it was welcomed, and it's kind of sucked. It was hard being a woman in the scene. It was hard even being a underage person in the scene, because older men would be super creepy, and a lot of younger people would accept it, and a lot of younger people are creeped out by it. It's weird, and I don't know. I feel we're entering a better time in the scene, a golden era, where a lot of people are looking out for younger folk, and a lot of people are looking out for underage folk, and I think that's really good.
I agree with that. What I saw come out of it was a lot of the accusations, there was proof behind them, but there was also a situation I don't know if you're into death metal as much, but there's a band by the name of Decapitation that came out here, and they were sent to prison, like I think it was jail for like 4 months awaiting trial. This girl like accused them of like raping and like kidnapping her, and like it turned out the entire thing was fake. Like they were in there for 4 months. They were out here for a co-headlining tour, and midway through tour they got arrested.
That's crazy. I think that the movement has grown and like has brought a lot of bad people. I mean, I've seen a couple false accusations, you know, just in general, but there are a lot of them aren't being taken seriously anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and the ones that are being taken seriously could be fake, and that's fine. Yeah. But as long as there is proof and there are witnesses. But I mean, people have been calling people out for rape and all that stuff and like drugging and stuff like that for years. I mean, I remember seeing Ronnie Radke and all that stuff, and like Johnny Craig get called out and stuff like that, and nothing was done. Like there's still prominent people in the scene, and like as long as they're changing, that's fine. But I mean, who knows? Yeah. Who really knows if they're changing?
So as a photographer in this scene, what's been like your perspective and like your experience through going to different venues and meeting other photographers? Like, has it been mostly pleasant with other photographers, or have you gotten into some beef?
I don't really know. I feel like there's a lot of hate towards women, like this, not generally like from men, but like if I'm the only woman in a pit, it's just kind of like the men kind of look at me like, oh, okay, you know, my gear might not be up to standards with theirs, and that's fine, but as long as my pictures come out, like I don't see why there's a lot of glaring. But it's just about helping each other out. We're not here to really compete. I don't think that's why we're all here. Like, we're all here to work and do our stuff. And you know what? Like, I have skipped out on opportunities that I know I wouldn't have been good for, that other people probably would have been, and I've recommended those people instead. You know, like, we all gotta help each other out. Like, it's not, but I've definitely seen in other shows where people are just, like, looking at each other like, whatever. Like, you know, oh, she's shooting with a shitty lens, whatever. Like, oh, he still has his kit lens. Like, that could be their first show, you know? Like, they might not know what stitch is. They might not really know what's going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they might not know anything about photography, but they're trying to learn. And, like, it's off-putting, but if you have a thick skin, it bounces right off you.
What would you recommend for, like, photographers that are starting up and are starting to finally get out there? What would you recommend in terms of like the mentality they should start with, and like
just be nice. Honestly, like if you smile at people in the pit and you're nice and like, oh, say this person's trying to get past you, like let them get past. Like, don't just keep holding your camera. Like, it's all about being cool in the pit, being cool outside of the pit too. Like, you know, even just like talking to band members, like being cool with them and like being cool with other photographers. You can find so many cool opportunities out there.
Definitely agreed. Crowd killing.
Ugh.
What's your opinion on crowd killing?
I think it's for corny nerds. You know, like I'm gonna be really upfront, like corny nerds crowd kill, because they don't have anything better to do, and there's a way to get yourself involved in the crowd, and crowd killing's not it.
I definitely can agree there. In my local scene here in Ventura County, there's been a lot of debate over crowd killing. I mean, at this very venue, we're at Rock City Studios right now. I got pushed over one of the monitors during a local band set from a crowd killer, and people thought that was perfectly acceptable.
Man, if you have to crowd kill, like there must be something happening in your life, man. Like it's not hard to be a decent person outside of venues, stuff like that. And if crowd killing's your thing, then go crowd kill somewhere else. Because that's not, you know, some people don't want to be involved, and you're involved with people who don't want to be involved. And a lot of going to shows is safety.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to be in the pit, everyone's looking out for each other, whatever. By crowd killing, you're like putting other people in danger that don't want to be put in danger.
And actually, on the walls over here, especially like over there, it says "No arms up" or "Swinging arms while dancing."
Oh, good.
So,
dance around like this.
You think they would listen, but
no. I mean, you've seen the signs at Warped Tour. No more Warped Tour.
You mosh. No more work tour.
You mosh, you crowd surf, you get hurt, we get sued, no more work tour.
And guess what? It's
No
ending.
more work tour.
Speaking about Warped Tour, since I found out from this interview, we both started going to Warped Tour the same year, 2011. What's been your experience with Warped Tour and like the whole scene?
It's so funky, just like going to Warped Tour and being like, wow, like these bands I really like are playing Warped Tour to, oh, my friend's playing Warped Tour, or oh, my friend's going on Warped Tour as a merch guy. Like it's been a weird little transition, and going from being a fan to being someone like in the industry has been really weird, and like watching my perspective change has been really wild. And I saw this meme on the internet, I'm sure you've probably seen it, where it's like the stage is here and it's like teenage girls, the pit, and then like fans. I've watched myself move back, going from the pit to fans to like a 25-year-old that just doesn't want to be involved. So, you know.
I feel you. So, I want you to tell me about how excited you are for this next tour you're on, because she's going on her first tour, you guys.
I'm excited and nervous and wildly happy about this experience. Just going up, like I'm going to states I've never been to before, and that's like my job. Like that's really cool. Like that's something. I don't know. My whole dream is just go to every single city, including Alaska. I've been to Hawaii, so like I've been to a lot of states, but I haven't been to a lot of the middle states. So like, I just want to like see the freaking world and like do what I love while doing it.
Is it like a 2-week tour, or how long is it?
2 weeks. No days off. The day we start, we're continuing to drive the whole way. Like it's gonna be, we're in an RV, better than a van, but I think
that's better.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be cool.
Bunks and everything.
Oh yeah.
So you're getting the full.
Oh yeah,
tour
and then I
experience.
get to like meet other locals from like other states, other cities. Like it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Now, you've probably experienced your share of band drama.
Oh yeah.
What is your opinion on a lot of the bands that are now going to social media to vent about these issues they're having?
I don't really know, because there's a level of professionalism that should be had, but since when has like music ever been like a professional industry? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of professionalism that is a lot of behind the scenes, like photographers, like we are expected to have a certain level of professionalism when reaching out to publicists and stuff like that. It's really now becoming expected of bands to be professional and PC and all this stuff. And I don't, as much as I like would agree with being PC and all that stuff, I don't know if being professional should necessarily be their number one priority.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be venting and swearing and all that stuff on your social media like 24/7.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for example, there was a few bands that I know of that were like posting bad things about other bands on the band page. Like not on their
that's weird.
Not on like their specific pages, like on the exact band page.
That's just trying to start beef and drama, and like you don't need it.
Yeah.
Hash your crap out in person, on the phone, over FaceTime, whatever. Beef can be squashed.
I definitely agree with that. So, in terms of venues, what's like the worst experience you've had? You don't have to talk about the venue. You can just talk about the experience.
People who know me know which venue I absolutely can't stand. As a photographer, I don't think I've run into any pretty bad venues. So, like staff-wise, like everyone's been pretty nice. Like, I mean, my absolute favorites like the Glass House in Pomona. The Roxy comes to mind. But as like a guest, I've been to so many venues that I've just been like appalled. That, I mean, I've seen so much stuff on social media, like of bands fighting security because they did something crappy to like a crowd surfer or just someone in the crowd. Like I was reading up at a Wonder Year show that this guy helped a crowd surfer down and then like tried to make out with her. Like it was really weird. Like the band took care of it like after the show. Like they didn't know what happened. Like it was super. Like that's just like what puts me off of like venues is a lot of the time security. And like there's one venue that every time I've been like security's been crap. You know,
Yeah.
like every time I've been like, damn, like that sucks. Like you could be doing such a better job and like be nicer.
Yeah.
It's all, my whole thing is about being nice. You just have to be
Yeah.
nice. And like I'll be happy as long
Yeah.
as you're smiling and nice about it.
Definitely.
Open a photo studio maybe. Who knows? I'm only late 20, man. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm just kind of doing. I'm hoping and praying.
Come on, Kesha, pray. I'm so glad to have you with me today because, I mean, I couldn't think of any other photographer that I'd want to interview first. I mean, I remember seeing you in the pits, like, when I went to our last night in Hands Like Houses, like, I wasn't with a publication yet, and Lily, I got my first photo pass like a month later, not even with a publication, and like, just like, you were inspiring in a way, because like, you just had, you had a very positive aura, so I really appreciate you coming today, and
It was such a fun show too, man.
what else it was? It was really
That was a lot of fun. No, I got some of my favorite photos at that show. That was my first photo pass show with a publication, which was cool.
That was my first, oh my god, my very first photo pass show with a publication was Whitechapel. What are your goals with photography? Was Whitechapel with Carnifex, Rings of Saturn, Entheus.
I don't really know,
and
man.
so
Like, I
this
thought
was a
about,
very heavy
you
library.
know,
Touring,
just started
like,
shooting
touring
like
for life
indie.
clearly not gonna work out.
I got reached out to do a couple
I know
of
at some
shows,
point
and I was
I'd be like,
sure,
alright, like, I don't
you
wanna
know,
tour
why
anymore.
not?
Yeah.
Even if I don't even
so
want to
fun.
tour with my life, like, I
It's
want
been
to.
really fun.
I get such a
Come back
different
and
work in Coachella. Like, that would be super fun to just like go
I'm
around
ex-
and do
like, I'm
festivals.
excited to,
That'd be super fun.
like, see you
Um,
branch out and do
you
a
know,
lot more.
settle
Your
down.
work is amazing. I mean, this was the girl who taught me how to shoot raw, folks.
That's me.
I know some of you thinking that's a dirty term, but no, it's a
No.
format.
Best format out there.
I see you.
Shooting JPEG, you're shooting wrong.
On that note, this has been an interview with Jamie Kaufman and Samantha Bass, alumni from the Camera Effect Promotions. Hope you all have a wonderful day.